We got Javon Graves, Jim Weitzel, Josh Mbala. Javon had a career high in points, Josh a career high in rebounds. Coach, you want to open with a statement?
Yeah, these two guys were outstanding tonight. I think they both kept us in the game early. St. Bonnie's came out and played. You can see why they've won 7 in a row. They got after us early in the game, and we were on our heels. And these guys kind of kept us at bay. And then we were down 28-19, kind of clawed back a little bit, and got it to 32-32. I thought Rondo's 3 at the end of the half was helpful. I mean, it was kind of instead of going down 6, close that gap. Then I really liked the way we played the beginning of the second half. I mean, really, I thought the whole second half we played pretty good basketball. Last couple of minutes, we got to work on our press and get organized and do a better job of that. But this is a hard-fought game. These big 4 games, especially with Bonnie's. I mean, our guys knew we're going to play a really good basketball team there, and they were tonight. So, really happy with the win.
Coach, you obviously knew from watching tape how good Oshun was. What was it a strategy to sort of go after him and maybe get him in foul?
Yeah, we wanted to see if we could get there and beat him to a couple of spots there. He's been such a good defensive player for him, and he's shooting a good percentage. He gets dunks. He feeds off Lofton really well. So we did think that was part of it. I thought Josh did a nice job of getting there, and then us getting some second opportunities on the offensive boards. Both teams have been pretty good on the offensive board. Our problem has been more the defensive board this year. We've been good in the offensive, so that's been helpful. These two guys both do a really good job on that area. And so helped us pick up him getting 2 early, and then, probably messed them up. Just like us, Devontae gets 2, and it kind of – we're a little bit out of sync. I thought Rondo came in and gave us good, quality minutes there in a lot of areas. When you have one of your best players out with 2 fouls, 3 fouls, you got to swap some things around. That's what we had to do a little bit on the offensive end in the first half. Devontae's done a really good job of distributing, finding guys, et cetera, and also defensively, Lofton had his way a lot tonight, So I think getting him back in the game was really helpful for us.
A little bit of a slow start with some turnovers and the defensive rebounding. What did you do to correct that as the game went along?
I just told these guys, we got to compete. These guys are competing. We're not competing hard enough. I mean, sometimes you just have to play harder. And I think the other thing offensively, we were hoping to get a foul and instead of just go play through the contact. I mean, adjust to the game and go play. And that's kind of, I thought our guys did a really good job of that. The last 10 minutes of the first half and the second half, you settle down. But early the first 10 minutes, we were hoping to get a call, hoping to get bailed out. And you can't play that way against anyone, but let alone these guys are way too good for that. So I thought we settled down, and then we got some defensive stops. I think we had 3 stops. We called 3 stops in a row. I think we did 3 times in the last, I believe, 10 minutes. So that kind of got us our sea legs under us and got playing a little bit.
Javon, you had a hot shooting game against Niagara. Was it hard to stay in that rhythm with 10 days off?
It wasn't hard. We put in a lot of work in the gym. Coach, he emphasizes just playing hard and then the offensive follow, so it wasn't too hard.
Javon, what do you think about Josh when he's able to get the rebound, dribble down the court, and make the pass like he did?
Well, that's big for us. We like versatile bigs, and he fits the mold really good.
He wants to play point guard.
Development. How does that help you, though, having a big...
No, I think it does. I mean, we do work on skill every day, and we're trying to be positionless basketball, and I think a little bit like where Josh has kind of been in a position that he's had to play a little bit more in the basket and the paint than he's had to probably beforehand. But you can see, obviously, he's got a good feel for go getting the ball, and I think offensively he's getting better and better around the basket, you know what I mean? And then that'll build off in terms of what we're doing. But along with it, if he sees an open lane, we've been able to get there because he has good speed with the ball, and we've made pretty good decisions in our transition. And then we're a good transition team, and the big thing is if we get there and run and fill lanes, we're getting a little bit more quality. And I thought in the second half, I'm not sure how many transition points we had, but we had a stretch there. We had 6 or 8 in a short period of time after we got some big stops. So I thought that was really helpful.
Jim, kind of looking a little more at the bigger picture, why do these big 4 games still matter to your team, to your program on the schedule? When you think about the net, the strength of schedule, 5 games, why still have these games?
Well, number one, I think it builds interest in the area. And I think that's really important because, you play each other. I think that builds interest. Where Bonnie's is obviously a team that's, been in the NCAA tournament, NIT. Last year played for the A-10 championship. much respect for what they do. So anytime you play them, like I told our guys, I said, these big 4 games is going to get you ready for MAC play because they're very intense. Everyone's well prepared. The guys are familiar with each other. That's what you see in conference play. I mean, you know, Javon knows these guys. For Josh, it's new, but for our guys, it kind of, I think, speeds up your development when you have to play there. And like tonight, great crowd, the atmosphere you want to see to play at that high level. So you got to, you know, bright lights, got to go out and play and compete at a high level. So I think they're really important. I think they're great for basketball awareness in our community, and they're, I think, they just bring a lot of interest to us. You know.
Looking ahead with those, you had all 3 at home this year.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to maybe correct?
No, we'd love to get it balanced. Actually, with Bonnie's down the road, I think we'll see if we can work it out. We go back to back, either there or here, and then we'd like to get it worked out where you're not playing all 3 on the road or all 3 at home. Niagara has had, I think last year we didn't play them, so that's kind of how it ended up with this kind of strange setup. But generally, we'd like to have 1 and 2 and balance that. I think down the road we'll get that done, but right now it is what it is. But we want to continue to play. I think it's good for, like we said, all the reasons I just said. Yeah.
Javon, how would you characterize these games against Big 4 opponents? You played a few of them.
It's always an intense game. Just the crowd is live and into it. We knew they'd play hard. They always do, each opponent. So we just knew it was going to be a big game.
There was a lot of, I don't know what the word is, intensity with the crowd there last year. How much was that on your mind as a team coming into this game, the way that game went last year?
Yeah, we knew they want to come back and get us this year. So the intensity they brought out at the beginning of the game, we had to just fight back.
Coach, you spoke about Lofton, and he actually had the ball down 3 when they were making that frenzied comeback. What do you think of the defensive effort on that possession to force him into an air ball and then to get the ball right back?
That was big. I mean, that was big. And then we came down and made some big free throws there. You know, he was outstanding tonight. I mean, I think the one big 3 made in front of their bench, they came up and they kind of twisted the ball screen. And Devontae had done a pretty good job on it, but good screen, and we were just a little late coming up. And I thought that was a huge shot for them. And I thought he had to make some tough shots in the second half. I thought the first half he had his way with us. In the second half, I thought he really earned them. I remember, I think at the 12-minute mark when he made that one in the lane, I think it was his first basket. But he had, 16 and a half? And that was his 18th point. And then, you know, like big-time players do, they find a way to keep him in the game. And I give him a lot of credit. You know, he can play. The thing amazing to me, he can play at that intensity in 38 minutes tonight. He's been playing 39 minutes, shoots 50%, 8 assists. You know, he did have 5 turnovers, which I'm sure he'd like to have back, but that's an outstanding game by him. I thought we did a pretty good job on Welch, even though Welch is always going to get buckets. He's a good basketball player. I thought Antoine had him a lot tonight. Javon had him some. And he's the type of guy that can do the same thing. He can get in the high 20s or in the 30s if you don't do a real good job on him. So didn't keep him under control, but at least he didn't have one of those monster nights he's capable of doing.
Josh, you drew 8 fouls. What was kind of your approach in attacking their defense?
I just try to stay aggressive. After I got my first, Oshun fouled me the first time, I just knew I could go by him at any time, so I just try to stay aggressive and just go at him.
What do you think about the rebounding overall? It's been, in some ways, a big strength of your team, and in other ways, a weakness at times. You know, what's kind of your approach on the boards?
We know how important rebounding is in basketball, so on the offensive end, we just try to get as much second chance points as we can. It's really a weapon for our team. And then on the defensive end, we just try to limit the other teams to 1 shot every time. So, yeah.
How much do you like those opportunities to maybe show off some of your guard skills?
I like them a lot. Every time I just grab a defensive rebound and I see an open lane, I just push the ball because, you know, we like to play fast. I like to play fast, and it's just an advantage for our team.
Coach, besides Josh's ball skills, what's one thing that you're encouraged with heading into MAC play, and one area maybe that you definitely want to work on?
Well, I think we need to work, obviously, on end-of-game situation and taking care of the ball. I mean, obviously, that's happening tonight because I thought we had them down 12 with a couple minutes to go and having the ball. Understanding time and score, that's got to improve immediately. I'm encouraged, though. I thought defensively, we played like we wanted to play the last 30 minutes in terms of good help defense. I mean, Bonnie's is really hard to guard, and they can break you down. And what we had trouble with was if you took away one of their actions, they can keep coming back and at you. And I think that's one of the things we had kind of learned a little bit on the fly, and we got better, and then we got some running opportunities off our defense. So that's going to have to be an area we continue to grow on as a group. But that was encouraging there. The other thing I think was good is I liked the way we played when we got behind. I mean, we're down 11 or 12, and they were totally outplaying us. And I liked us, our resolve, chipping away, and still down at halftime. And you need to do that. You need to play that well, and you're playing a very good opponent. Everything's not going to go your way, and I think our guys kind of grew up a little bit that way. So we need to keep working on it, keep making corrections, and keep making steps forward.
You made a lot of free throws tonight. Is that something you're getting better at that, or is it just evening out, do you think?
Well, we've been shooting a lot, haven't we, gentlemen? So we've been shooting a lot. Actually, Josh stayed around probably another half hour after we're shooting around today and shot them. So our guys are understanding that, look, as we said, look, this has got to improve dramatically if we want to win games. I mean, you got to step up and put those in there. We've put a lot of time and effort into it, and we will all break here, make sure we spend time on it. But I was encouraged of it. Another thing was good thing is we got there 30 times, which is good. I think that's the first time we've gotten there quite a bit. So we just got to continue to improve on that and make progress on there. I'd like to see us get to the line there. And tonight we probably took less threes, which to me I'm not opposed to. As long as they're good threes, we can take as many as they want. But if we're moving the ball there, we had 19 assists again. That's always a good sign in terms of we're doing some good things offensively.